Hey beautiful souls, and welcome to this YouTube video. My name is Rebecca and I hope to share some light with you today about the differences between a spiritual and a psychic awakening. In fact, you may be experiencing both at the same time. At the moment we're going through some turbulent times and turbulent changes and a global awakening, but I hope this video might be able to give you some information about what you may be experiencing. You may have been going through some depression, anxiety, social anxiety, or even to the point where you're having some out of the ordinary experiences that you just can't quite explain, and you know there's more than meets the eye with this. You may feel that you've actually been looking at other videos at the moment and you're not sure which way to turn or what to listen to, and that's okay. I hope that all the videos are being appreciated, as every single video and voice and opinion through their own personal experiences are one piece of a puzzle towards one great experience that we're all learning still to go through during this human experience. So I hope this video will give some feedback from my own experience about the spiritual awakening journey. So let's first of all talk about the spiritual awakening. So during spiritual awakening, the process is where the heart chakra is focused on the heart chakra opening. Now this can be experienced as what we call a kundalini awakening, and it starts off with the root chakra, going through all the other chakras as we reach to the top, and you experience bliss. Now this can happen over a longer period of time, which is what happened to myself. My journey began when I was 8 and I wasn't actually aware of the label attaching as a spiritual awakening to my journey. I was always kind of conscious and grew awareness and just believed it was normal because I didn't know any different. I didn't know that other people were unconscious, or that would be frustrating because I wouldn't understand the way I saw the world and the way I was experiencing that was actually different to somebody who wasn't yet woken. So that can have its challenges in itself. So during my own journey waking up, for me, I started feeling, experiences like confusion and depression quite early on, and it wasn't, I guess, when you look back, it was quite obvious. I was started to say things like my favourite animal was a snake. When I grew up, I wanted to be a monk. It's like staring at you in the face, but I didn't quite have the right support at the time during my own awakening until quite some substantial time later. And sometimes this can feel sort of like that you are it can feel like it's had some kind of trigger. So there are instances that trigger the awakening process itself. It can happen usually by a traumatic event, something that has changed your life, either in a great way or something very less significant. It could be as extreme as losing a loved one or somebody close to you. It could be extreme as moving house, a divorce, or something that's just quite unsettling to your soul, and that's where the journey begins. Now, if you're comparing your journey to others who are also on the awakening process, I'm going to stop you right there and tell you to just stop and look more within, because our own experiences and journeys are unique. I know we're all saying that we are from the same source, so we should, I guess, be all on the same journey. We're actually having our own development, our own progress, our own things to overcome during this lifetime that are unique to our personal soul, so that it may grow stronger towards the whole that we are heading towards joining. So during this experience, it's really useful not to compare yourself to others, as this will make your journey more difficult, because you are in fact having your own unique experiences, your own unique development, and what you need to focus. We're not all here to become healers in the same year and the same lifetime, or to develop certain things. There will be a path that you are to focus on, or your soul wishes for you to focus on, and the point of awakening is that you become noticeable, and your soul charges its way through as you let go of the egoic self. Now, as tempting as it is during this journey, you can't actually physically wake somebody up who's not meant to be woken, despite the global awakening we are currently going through, which is extremely exciting for those who are already been on this journey. We finally feel that there's some kind of shift and movement towards a greater community. However, you can't force this experience onto people. However, you may find that if you carry this kind of light working qualities, that sometimes you can trigger the healing that is already consciously being accepted by the other person, they are seeking consciously for some help and healing, and you can trigger that within a person for their unresolved issues, which can sometimes allow them to find their own awakening themselves, and that is always through healing. Healing work is essential to this journey, as the more you heal, the more of your authentic self and your soul you claim back from circumstances, people and all sorts of situations that you've had to overcome during the journey. I do want to move on to the psychic awakening, as I feel this is really important as well. I do find that the spiritual awakening and the psychic awakening come hand in hand, and that's what happened to myself. Usually the spiritual awakening activates psychic abilities in some people that have already developed these gifts and these skills in previous lifetimes. So what happens during a psychic awakening is that the third eye is activated, and that's where you allow yourself to see the unseen, and you're allowing yourself to have heightened intuition, and your soul gifts are brought forward to utilize in some way that's specific to your own unique path during this lifetime. Now, usually the soul always has a preference as to what it wants to experience in this life, so we will bring the experiences through its energy, and you're thinking, why does this keep happening to me? It's for you and your soul to overcome, so you may grow stronger during your journeys. And this can be really difficult to hear, as you just think, you consciously think that you have a choice for your life, and then a spiritual awakening happens, and you know, I'm trying not to swear, but you know, it hits the fan and you feel like, you know, life's tumbling down at you. But I do reassure you that this is happening for you, not against you, as your soul and your guides really know what you need to make you happy and to make yourself more stronger during your journey. So usually for a psychic awakening, if you are some form of light worker and healer, this can come about also in two separate ways. You can fall quite quickly into your light if you haven't had that many bad experiences in your past lives, and this allows you to utilize your gifts. You may be the child who's seeing dead people, you know, from when you're 8 years old. You may have been that person, and it's been knocked out of you as you go through everyday life. This can be difficult as well. However, you can always, through healing, return back to your natural authentic self. However, you may, if you're like myself, go through overcoming a lot of fear that is dated back to past lives. Now, if I went to a normal conventional therapist, they wouldn't understand and probably lock me up in a straitjacket, as what I'm trying to explain. But during this, if you're going through, have some past life traumas, perhaps you've been bringing your gifts in many lifetimes, and society was not quite ready for the gifts that you brought, and you've been, you know, a witch on the stake, or you've been frowned upon, imprisoned, or even, you know, humiliated, or even had physical harm upon your soul in previous lifetime. You bring the memories of your past lives with you along this journey, and you will be facing those subconsciously, and you may think, why am I having these outrageous phobias and fears that have no sense of today, what I'm going through or have been through today? You may also find that these experiences are attracting in this life similar experiences for you to resolve them, for them to be healed, so that you may then go step into your power. And this is the essential purpose behind both of the awakenings, that you step into your own personal power, and you may uncover your soul's unique path. So you may be able to use these gifts to heal yourself, or you may be able to use this gift to heal others as well. The idea behind the spiritual awakening is merely to show that we're all in fact spiritual beings having a human experience. There are no humans without souls. However, you may hear this term about earth souls and star seeds. There are souls that have only incarnated as humans on earth, and there are souls who have incarnated in different dimensions on different planets and have a memory of that during this life and every time they incarnate. So there are no souls that are better or worse than each other. I will be doing further videos to help with this, as well as the stages and symptoms of both the psychic and the spiritual awakening. I hope you found this video really useful, and if so, stay tuned to find out more.